Good evening. This is Brownson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Baseball Talk for Monday night. I'm gonna skip the steaming section because I'm having a hard time, providing new names for you. So we're gonna skip that today, and I may not have another baseball video for a few days because I'm gonna kind of focus on the NBA draft the next couple of days. I'm also gonna focus on my trip that I am going on for Wednesday. Leave Wednesday morning at 5:30 a.m. Portland, and I come back at 9:30 p.m. Thursday night. So I have hopefully an action-packed 2 days in my destination. I've just today booked a hotel room, which was more money than I was hoping for. This is just this last minute trip is turning out to kind of be a pain in my ass. I should have booked it like a month ago when I really got inspired to go and do this. It would have been a heck of a lot cheaper, but I'm still excited to do this. I want to live my life. That's why I am still up right now filming this video despite being exhausted after a really long day. And I'd be up in 6 hours for work. But I'm trying to live as much as possible in the limited time I have to live, because I devote more than 8 hours a day to my job, to work, and then you ideally need to devote 6, 7, 8 hours to sleep. So that's another third of your day. So you really only have a third or less of your day to live. So I'm trying to live just as much as I can. I can sleep when I'm dead, right? Is that the way the saying goes? I did talk to Victoria for a little bit. She's getting better about talking to me, but she still has a hard time staying attentive. She definitely got ADHD, and I appreciate the fact that she tries and she puts in the effort to talk to me, but she's a 7-year-old girl. My life is not very interesting to a 7-year-old girl, and just like with all women in my life, they just get tired of me pretty quickly eventually. So I know that if I were to see her in person, she would be a lot more engaged and a lot more interactive and stuff like that. It's just talking on FaceTime just isn't it's not cut out for. It's not the best medium to be talking to her with, for sure. And now that I can drive, I can actually go see her more often. I just have bad luck in Eugene, and so it's a town I kind of want to avoid. But I don't know if I trust my car just yet. I did just take it on the longest trip that I've taken it on so far, to my parents' house and back, and I ended up blowing a spark plug and having that whole situation. So I'm not sure that I'm ready to take it to Eugene and back yet, especially given the gas mileage issues that I'm having, which I think allegedly replacing the spark plug is helping that. It seems in the couple of days I've been driving it since then that my gas mileage is better, but it's really kind of too early to tell. I'm gonna have to finish off this tank, fill it up again, and then we can really judge. But I'm excited for my trip. I got a jam-packed 48 hours. I'm kind of working the kinks out of planning that. I got my hotel room's in a good location, so I'll be able to hit up a couple of breweries that are really close by. I'll be able to see all the sites on one side of town in one day, and then the other day in the morning or early in the day before I have to go back and fly out, I can go check out the sites on the other side of town that I want to see, and do that. That's the plan. Anyways, since I don't actually have to head back to Denver. Shoot. I guess I revealed that. I'm going to Colorado. I'm going to Denver, Colorado Springs. I don't have to be back in Denver till I don't have to leave get on the bus in Colorado Springs and go back to Denver till 5. So that gives me most of the day Thursday, and I'll arrive in Denver on Wednesday morning at 9:30, I think, or 9 a.m. Actually, I think it's 9 a.m. And then I will get to Colorado Springs at 1. So I'll have all afternoon, all evening to check out the sites on one side of town, and then all day the next day to check out the sites on the other side of town. And I think I checked the baseball schedule. I believe the Rockies are out of town on Thursday night, but they're either out. Yeah, I think they're playing at the Padres or something that day, so they're not in town. So I'm not gonna be able to catch a game, but I do plan on watching the NBA draft somewhere in Denver, probably at the airport. But that's gonna be cool. Gonna be a cool experience to watch. You know, one of my all-time favorite things in a location that's not normal to me. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this last-minute trip to Colorado Springs. Like, I was originally planning to go to Colorado in the fall, after Arizona, after Minnesota, stuff like that. But I don't know if that's really the best time you're gonna be going. I don't know if I want to deal with a bunch of snow. So I ended up just jonesing for a trip. I do have my Arizona trip planned still for next month, and Colorado Springs now is a trip that I've been, kind of tracking and wanting to do for the last few weeks, and I just finally just said, F it, it's time to live. I'm trying to live my life and do what makes me happy, and traveling makes me very happy. It's the only time I'm like really, truly just elated to be alive, and it's the only time I'm not really lonely. Like, I know it's just there's just a switch that flips in my head when I'm out traveling, and it's just like, because here, like, I'm lonely. I want a companionship. I want friends. I want a social life. But when I'm out there, it's just different. It's just about experiencing a new place and seeing as much as I can in that time, and like companionship and other people just are like not even important to me when I'm out doing that. So also I did talk to a flight attendant today because we all have to share a bus back to the employee lot, which the employee lot of the airport is so far away, and I don't really understand why, but it gives us an opportunity to kind of talk. And she was talking about how her airline is hiring. They're desperately in need of flight attendants, and she told me that I don't even need to go to flight attendant school. I can just apply directly on their website and get training through them, and just be out traveling the West Coast in a very short period of time. So, I mean, I don't know if I do want to do that. That is something I've always wanted to do for a long time. But like, I'm pretty happy in my professional life right now, despite the fact that I don't really get to travel for a job. But I don't want to lose my UPS job, and I'm happy to be back with SSP, because they're the only company really that's ever really shown me that I'm valued by them. So yeah, but it's tempting. It's something to keep in the back of my head, because it's something I'd like to do. But anyways, without further ado, I've wasted a whole lot of time talking about non-sports, but luckily, I'm only sticking with the streaming pitchers today, or for Tuesday. I got 4 for you, starting with Shane McClanahan of the Rays against the Yankees. It's time to start putting some respect on Shane McClanahan's name. He's gotten at least 5 strikeouts in each of his last 5 starts, and the fact that he's pitching at home in a very pitcher-friendly environment in the junk hole that is Tropicana Field there in St. Petersburg, Florida, should work to give him a nice home field advantage for tomorrow even though it is kind of a bad day for streaming, there are some good options. Also, Austin Gomber of the Rockies, we'd be talking about him a lot more if he was on a team that was halfway competent. But as is, he is facing the Angels at LA, and besides Shohei Ohtani and sometimes Jared Walsh, they don't have any hitter that you need to worry about at all. Austin Gomber could have a decent day. Taylor Widener of the Diamondbacks against the Rangers. The strikeout rate is very high for Taylor Widener, and his ERA, despite having kind of a bad start, his last start out, his ERA overall pretty decent, and the Rangers aren't a lineup that needs to be feared as well. And the pitcher that will be opposing him in that matchup, Dane Dunning of the Rangers against the Diamondbacks. I think it's pretty common knowledge now that the Diamondbacks are really bad, especially on the road. So Dane Dunning, at the very least, despite he may have a poor start, but we've seen him have plenty of good starts, enough good starts to think that a team like the Diamondbacks shouldn't be much of a challenge for him. But at the very least, even if he does have a bad start, there's still a high probability that he gets you the win, and there are still a lot of leagues where wins count for something. So that's my streaming options for Tuesday. One last little thing I want to talk about, a little pet peeve of mine in baseball, especially the bereavement/paternity list. Like, I don't understand. The paternity list makes perfect sense. I think it's great that fathers are taking time off to be with their young children in their time of infancy. That's great. It's good to see. But the bereavement list, I don't understand, especially don't understand it for pitchers. Pitchers only play once every 5 days anyway, so putting them on the bereavement list or the paternity list for 3 days, it doesn't do anything because they still come back in time to make their start. They were gonna not be there with the team for those 3 days anyway. I don't know. I think it's just like a shady way for teams to manipulate the rosters for a brief period of time. It gives them an opportunity to bring up someone from the minor leagues for depth purposes for a couple of days, rather than I just feel like it's being used in more nefarious ways than it needs to be when it comes to pitchers, because pitchers just don't. They just only play once every 5 days, which also, when they're getting suspended for things, they should be suspended for a number of, like a hitter will get suspended for 10 games, a pitcher gets suspended for 10 games. That's not the same, because for 10 games for a pitcher is only 2 games really. So I think when it comes to pitchers, they need to get suspended for a little bit longer, make it 3 starts or the equivalent of what a 10-game suspension would be for a hitter. But no, so that's my probably unpopular opinion for the day. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Please stay safe. Please do what makes you happy, as long as it's not like a felony. And take every opportunity you can to live while you're awake. And thanks for watching. Good luck with your lineups. Good luck with your daily lives. Peace, love, and nacho fries.